our location at Osu and just get your water and refresh yourself. The body needs a lot of water. And so that's what I can share with you. In fact, the numbers I have with me here, I want to share immediately when we talk about X natural mineral water. Look out for these numbers: 0540 585 599, 0243 249 245. I want to take the numbers slowly. 0540 0540 585 599, 0243 249 245, and then 0557 826 535 and 059 602 73546. So these numbers will be popping up later on the screen. You know, on our show, we bring you weather report, to bring you tidbits. There's a lot happening. The population and housing census has ended. The Ghana Statistical Service has announced a 7-day mop-up. And so beginning today, they will continue to add as many people as possible who have not been counted. I have not been counted. My household has not been counted. In my community around the Spentex area, a lot of people are saying they have not been counted. We don't know the figures Ghana Statistical Service is using, and if indeed by the 7th day, the mop-up exercise will capture every Ghanaian. Don't forget that this is an expensive exercise. Government has voted over 521 million cedis, and the data Ghana Statistical Service will capture is supposed to inform government to plan towards addressing the concerns you and I have, or to prioritize the projects as a government for the development of this country. And so make yourself available and ensure that you are counted. And of course, this also goes to the Ghana Statistical Service, because this is about counting every Ghanaian. And so they cannot assume that they have counted everybody when indeed the people have not been counted. So at the end of the mop-up exercise, we'll still be asking as many Ghanaians as possible if indeed the mop-up exercise has captured everybody. And so there are enumerators, there are census officials who may not be doubling up. This is the period they have to tell them, because people cannot keep on waiting and hoping that the census officials will come and knock at their doors or leave some contact lines for them to be called back to come and count them, because people have their own plans. And let us show confidence in the exercise and support it. Again, we are also aware that there's a lot of conversation over the weekend about some alleged bribery allegation against the Chief Justice of this country. $5 million is not a small money. The fact is, for a known, well-respected lawyer to make such serious allegations in a statement to the General Legal Counsel in defense of himself, because a client had petitioned the General Legal Counsel that I paid some money for services. Later, I changed my mind, changed my lawyer. I want my money back. The money has not been paid to me. Deal with the lawyer. In that lawyer's response, we are hearing an issue that may further dent the already battered image of the judicial system, and most especially the Supreme Court of Ghana, headed by the Chief Justice, who is the mother of all the legs associated with the judicial system in Ghana. I'll be reading out some of these letters, and a rejoinder by the so-called client. We cannot authenticate any of these allegations or counterclaims and so on, but it's worthy of sharing at this stage. But before that, let's take our weather report as we do every day, and then we'll take some few tidbits. Don't forget, Obobia is also around the corner. After they finish their part, I'll spend time with you if you have not already seen some of these statements, which really are raising a lot of eyebrows. that's food for thought. Now, Obobia will be joining us today. She'll be talking about porn addiction. I believe that many workers will agree that some of us are involved in this. We spend hours wasting data, being unproductive, watching pornography. Sometimes I've seen videos, and there's one particular case where a lawyer was in court and he was captured. Instead of paying attention to proceedings, he was busy on his phone watching porn. Some go to church, and even when the pastor is preaching to them to lead a good life or to follow examples that can impact on society, they have become so addicted that they'll be doing things that are inappropriate. Today, Obobia will be spending time with us in the next 3-4 minutes about what you can do to address this challenge.
Hello and welcome to Pause for 3 minutes. My name is Obobia Dakupuku, and you're welcome to join me on the morning update on TV Xyz every Monday and Thursday by the kind sponsorship of FlexiPay, Endless Possibilities. This will be a little controversial, but I will not shy from talking about it. I received a funny but quite serious Facebook message asking about pornography and masturbation, actually addiction. First and foremost, I have found out that indeed many people love and watch porn. But there are some who are very serious porn addicts. And almost everybody who is addicted to pornography is also hooked to masturbation. And don't be deceived, pornography and masturbation are not a problem for the youth. Adults and even married couples are suffering from this addiction. One of the shocking revelations I found out is that for many who become chronic porn addicts and masturbate, they can even miss work or isolate themselves just so they can have fun, masturbate. That's how crazy it can get. A young lady I had a chat with about masturbation tells me that when you try getting yourself distracted to quit the practice, you may only end up getting more addicted. Addiction to anything can become a problem. And these twin vices aren't an exception. But remember also that masturbation has health implications, especially for men. You can experience sexual weakness in the long run. For many, it started with watching porn. And it has been confirmed that porn can be a magic pill when having a bad day or you want to get in the sexual mood. There are those who cannot make love without watching porn. And there are some women who say they enjoy masturbation than lovemaking with their men. It is not easy. But if you are into porn and masturbation, let me encourage you to desist from them now before it becomes an addiction. Breaking from the habit is not and will not be easy. You must be disciplined and be committed to breaking from it. Start by working on yourself to avoid or restrict your visit to the pornographic websites. Stay active always by finding things to do to occupy your time. Find a hobby, learn a new skill, and move out and join others when you feel the urge to visit a site or to masturbate. It is better to get help now than wait to be destroyed. If you cannot handle it yourself, please seek help from a mental health expert or a seasoned counselor. Do not wait until masturbation destroys your relationship or marriage. Thank you for listening. You can download this and other episodes of Pause for 3 Minutes from Facebook at Pause for 3 or on YouTube at Pause for 3 TV. If you have a story to share, send me a message on Facebook or email me pausefor3@wazorgroup.com.
And so that was Obobia. I had 3 catchwords: desist, ensure you don't become addicted, and protect your marriage. You can always go to download it and listen again and again and share with friends. This is TV XYZ and this is Morning Update. And now let's walk into the controversies. And I want to break it down to Fanti. Fanede etsena ho na enyimede yen judges, yen courts, ibinum akansama afa wɔn ho de wɔgyegye sika and wɔn manipulate cases in favor of our ebotum etua. So there's been conversations about mankrofo kede justice for sale. Inti ibinum wɔyɛ bɔn ɔnam de wɔwɔ sika ninti wɔtum wɔtua na wɔfa wɔn ho di. And in most cases ibinum wɔdi yawa wɔdi wu. Ibinum wɔpay judges, wɔpay lawyers onam anamona wotu. Inti nansenya yate anas aremeyaw anas nensam okeken sebeka ya osha simpo wacher odu baby na judges ibi na mpanyifo a wo Supreme Court wo High Court mbia okeka ho wotwe won aso a wancher na another investigative journalist bekay Edward Adeti no so be ye bibi nsam pi fa ho nansenya mate de dem judge no watwe na so a. And then the biggest controversy that will continue to live with us, Nancy Supreme Court election petition case. We, Ghana yemu ya chebien. Ibinum say asam no wenzini ye. Ibinum says asam no wenzini ye. Na obiota asam court no nara no nyi asam papa biara. Enti owoma ote yerike say nyimuda even now there's another controversy. NDC for one lawyer Spenyino Kor Dr. Ayene Wanyino Kor General Legal Counsel for Nsama Waka afa Chief Justice na wana wo bugana yanembra wadano na fande eda na ate de obi atro krata ya kama General Legal Counsel na samnyi de lawyer bi keche ne de onfa sika mfa man no botum no de kodua ways and means odaka fefam na wada ne nsam no wada aboan. This is a serious allegation to the General Legal Counsel about somebody claiming that I paid money to a lawyer to manipulate a case in my favor. Now, Odru baby, na masasa margin, Miss Dam lawyer nempo, sika me demand don't forget the damage when fe nze jumano, most ma mepe, inti, may ye if you are marriage lawyer for. What truck crate, dam manipa, what are some ato no de, be you wano, ori yinano no, or say, nya, or that's some ato modono, or be catch me there, Chief Justice say ubotum wasasam. No, what the lawyer Kotampao. And these names come with a lot of Rebecca the eyebrows. Lawyer Kotampao, your lawyer, not that Akufado, no lawyers are not, what are some court Supreme Court. Also, son, not for no, but to some nano. Only nature no, she have 5 million cities, $5 million. Now some no yenzi, now some no on come out. The fact that this allegation is out there before the General Legal Counsel raises a lot of eyebrows. I'm just wondering, at this stage, amanfo onyu abahwi ibana asam norifa amanfo ana what is going through the minds of people. But nyanze yenyim no koro wom ma otenye de asam no waba na damasemi obia nenyu obakon because Ghana on cherry bia nsem pia kodo it raises a lot of suspicion. Na shekrate this letter was written by Ojedom Abranu Kwesi Ata the Sixth. Also petition against lawyer Akwesi Afrifa. Demkrate, he wrote it as far back as 1st March 2021. And I want to read some few paragraphs that is shared on the screen. Also, in the course of handling the case, he suggested to me that it was in my interest to, beside his fully paid up fees, provide an amount of $100,000 to enable him to do some ways and means, that's gymnastics, on my case so that we can obtain a favorable decision. This is very instructive. A lawyer telling him that we can do this, pay our way through to ensure that judgment comes or goes in their favor. That itself raises a lot of suspicion about Ghana's judicial system. I acceded to his request for him to have the money go and perform the said gymnastics to ensure success in my case. Although I believed in the strength of my case, I decided to give him the money based on the advice he gave me. And subsequently, he gave the money and he wanted the refund. Refund, you know, actually last paragraph. So also I'm $25,000 per of the said amount, and it goes on and on. Time in you into the waso akanibi. Now let's look at the response by lawyer Kwesi Afrifa of O&A Legal Consult, barristers, solicitors, and notaries public. And Krate was dated on the 8th of July 2021. Now, but about to screen it, then you read along with me. You can select any of the paragraphs. Now it says on the 7th of July 2021, 10:04, I received a call from the post office, blah, 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 and it goes on. Now let's look at the third paragraph. Us in the first place, it is untrue that a fee of 300,000 was agreed between me and the petitioner. The truth is that a fee of 1 million cedis was agreed, out of which the petitioner paid 300,000 cedis and undertook to settle the remainder later. It could be legal fees. I represented the petitioner at the Court of Appeal, Cape Coast, and Supreme Court, and also performed other duties for him, particularly at the National House of Chiefs. He was so impressed and satisfied by my service that he even wanted to dispense with a substantive lawyer. But I told him that I did not come into the matter to supplant the lawyer and that I will stop the conduct of the case if he dispenses with a substantive lawyer. Now let's move on to the next page where the serious allegation is. It says, at the end of July 2020, the petitioner informed me that friends of his who were highly connected politically have taken him to see the Chief Justice, who had agreed to help him win the case on condition that he drops my good self as a lawyer handling the case for him to engage Akoto Ampao Esquire in my stead. He further informed me that the Chief Justice had demanded a bribe of $5 million for a successful outcome of his case and that he had already paid $500,000 to the Chief Justice. All these are allegations. We don't have proof. We are reading what lawyers are putting before the General Legal Counsel. And it says, he further indicated that he was hard-pressed to raise the remainder of the $5 million, and so I should refund some of the $300,000 paid me as fees because he had, in line with the advice of the Chief Justice, engaged Akoto Ampao Esquire as a solicitor to continue the case before the Supreme Court. Out of a sense of dignity on my part, I told him that I would rather refund the entire $300,000 paid to me and bear the cost of air travel, hotel bills, and other expenditure incurred by me in prosecuting his case at the Cape Coast and in Accra. And it goes on to give an explanation of the breakdown of the money he paid, etc., etc., etc. So that's it. And then later yesterday, around 4 p.m., I chanced this rejoinder by Ojedom Abranu Kwesiata VI. I cannot authenticate the statement or the rejoinder, but it's just fair that I read what is out there as a response, because officially the Chief Justice has not spoken to all these allegations, and it is serious because he sits at, or he is the supreme when it comes to all these, and these suspicions really will affect us as a people and how people respond to all the rumors, all the perceptions, and so on. Now, this is what is in the rejoinder. My attention has been drawn to media publication allegations against my good self and some prominent third parties, including the Chief Justice. I unequivocally deny all allegations of intended bribery or actual bribery of any judge, including the Chief Justice, whom I have never met or known personally, apart from seeing him at distance from the bench. I re-emphasize that I have never met the Chief Justice before nor dealt with him directly or indirectly in official or private capacity. Neither do I even know where he lives nor have his phone number to have communicated with him. I have since applied for a copy of the said response to my petition against lawyer Frifa, in which those fabrications and allegations are said to be contained, and will appropriately react to the General Legal Counsel upon receipt of same. Stay tuned for the truth. Ojedom Abranu Kwesi utter the cyst. We don't have any direct opinion on this. All we can say is we have read all the letters. What is in your mind? What is your own belief? What are your suspicions? In fact, we'll be discussing this as part of our programming this morning. And so you have to be with us, TVXYZ, follow us on Facebook and other social media platforms. And of course, Ways.tv is also sharing our programs. And just hear what those who appreciate the legal system and what people are recommending, whether the Chief Justice should step aside for the General Legal Counsel to take over, or the President should ask him to step aside in the name of good governance. I don't know. I'll be back, but the news is next.
We are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah.
Always brave, fresh, natural, X, mineral, water.
You still got it.
Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
And many thanks for your company this morning. Coming up, Chief Justice in alleged $5 million bribery deal, further swelling his image over recent development. But key actors says the scandals have been denied. We shall share details of the worrying development with you. Also, 2021 population and housing census ends yesterday, but extended due to many Ghanaians who have not been captured before the deadline yesterday. Also, in this bulletin, armed robbers strike again, shooting a driver dead in broad daylight on Lobo Highway in the Pru East District. And a little later, Ghana's COVID-19 cases on sudden rise, raising fears of possible third wave as government fight hard to contain the spread of the deadly Indian strain. Details of these and other stories coming up shortly. Please stay with us. Many thanks for your company this morning. Now, we begin the bulletin with a very serious allegation that may further damage the butchered image of the Supreme Court. Now, Chief Justice has been named in a letter to the General Legal Counsel accusing him of demanding a whopping $5 million amidst further conditions to rule in favor of a petitioner, that's Ojiadom Obronu Akwesiata VI, in a case against Ghana Telecom. Now, the claim by Akwesi, by a Kumasi-based legal practitioner, Akwesi Frifa, has triggered several reactions, but the Chief Justice's office is yet to come public on that matter.
Media is awash with harsh criticisms amidst calls for an independent investigation into the alleged bribery scandal involving the Chief Justice and lawyer Akoto Ampao, who was the president Nana Akufo-Addo's lead counsel in the 2021 election petition case. The Chief Justice Kwesi Eneni-Yeboah and lawyer Akoto Ampao have been named in a statement by one Kwesi Afrifa and ONA legal consult to the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council, claiming that his client, Ojedom Abrano Kwesiata VI, once told him that the Chief Justice had demanded a bribe of $5 million for a successful outcome of his case. This serious allegation is captured in a letter in which the Kumasi-based legal practitioner, Kwesi Afrifa, reveals that his client told him after highly connected politicians led him to meet Chief Justice Eneni-Yeboah. He alleges that the Chief Justice made two conditions precedent before his case will be ruled in his favor. First, that he drops his lawyer and go for lawyer Akoto Ampao, and two, that Chief Justice Kwesi Eneni-Yeboah demanded a bribe of $5 million cash to help facilitate the favorable ruling in the case Ojedom Abrano Kwesiata VI versus Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited. Ojedom had earlier, in a petition to the General Legal Council on March 1st, 2021, said despite knowing he had a good case before the Supreme Court of Ghana, he heeded the advice of his lawyer, Kwesi Afrifa, who suggested to him, Ojedom, to provide an amount of $100,000 to enable him to do some ways and means so that they can obtain a favorable decision. Ojedom claims he later realized that the money was not used for the intended purpose, so he fired Kwesiata and asked him to refund, but has since paid back only $25,000. But in a 3-page response available to TV Xyz News, lawyer Kwesi Afrifa has unequivocally denied all the claims. Part of his response read, "At the end of July 2020, the petitioner informed me that friends of his who were highly connected politically had taken him to see the Chief Justice, who had agreed to help him win his case on condition that he drops my good self as the lawyer handling the case for him and engage Akoto Ampao Esquire in my stead." Kwesi Afrifa added, he further informed me that the Chief Justice had demanded a bribe of $5 million for a successful outcome to his case, and that he had already paid $500,000 to the Chief Justice.
Now, TV Xyz News has seen a letter purportedly signed by the chief, Ojedom Abrano Afrifa, the Sith, denying all the claims. Now, but the CJ's critics, who have not spared him over his handling of the 2021 election petition, have been trolling him on social media amidst calls for an independent investigation. A father's report. Binder circulating on social media categorically denies the claim by lawyer Kwesi Afrifa in his response to a petition before the General Legal Council against him. This was more than 24 hours after the said allegedly $5 million demanded by Chief Justice to rule in favor of the petitioner. TV Xyz News cannot independently verify the authenticity of the rejoinder authored by Ojedom Abrano Kwesiata VI, but it unequivocally denies all the allegations of intended bribery and actual bribery of any judge, including the Chief Justice. Ojedom Abrano Kwesiata VI, in the half-page rejoinder, said he had never met the CJ, but stopped short of any threat of legal action against Kwesi Afrifa. It also said Ojedom Abrano Kwesiata VI is yet to study the full response by lawyer Kwesi Afrifa and respond appropriately. Meanwhile, critics of the Supreme Court are exploiting the claims. Some have referred to respected lawyer Chachuchikate's repeated reference to the Bible, Hosea 8:7, during the election petition case as signs on the wall yet to blow in our faces, and his short video that has since been widely circulated.
Your time is up. May I just finish in a minute, because I'm in the middle of a sentence. Is that allowed?
Okay.
As
you may finish.
As Aqua indicated in the Kublex case, heeding the promptings of conscience, as he put it, heeding fidelity to the judicial oath, he found it appropriate to reverse a decision of the ordinary bench. May each of your lordships decide in accordance with your conscience and your judicial oath. Ultimately, and even more profoundly, it is for the chairperson of the first respondent to come forward to testify as she indicated on oath she would do. I conclude with prophetic words that were spoken centuries ago. For they sow the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind. These are the words of the prophet Hosea, to be found in Hosea chapter 8, verse 7. He that has an ear, let him hear.
The office of the Chief Justice is yet to officially respond to the allegations and actions he intends to take if they are false. Well, pressure is already mounting on the Chief Justice to step aside. Well, let's get some more perspective. And Jonathan Ochre is a lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. He joins me over the phone. Good morning, sir. Many thanks for your time. So, first of all, what are the likely implications of that serious allegations, and especially when the Judicial Service has already a dented image?
Well, let me say good morning to your viewers. This is probably one of the issues that will go a long way to indict further the integrity of the judiciary, especially the very person who is at the top or the apogee of the judiciary. And as it were, it is further going to dampen the spirit of people who seek justice from the judiciary. It is equally going to further the issues of suspicion, of corruption, of massive injustice when you are seeking judiciary, justice from the judiciary. And as it were, if you look at what Mr. Chachi quoted, it is an indictment on the consciences of the judiciary. But of course, we just cannot be extending the whole thing to the entire judiciary. Decision makers, those who are the helm of affairs, and other important personalities in the judiciary ought, to wake up and ensure that they're able to nip in the bud some of these suspicions. But as it stands now, I mean, for a lawyer to have such a courage to write such a suit against the Chief Justice, well, it is very damning to the integrity of the judiciary. And if some people are calling for the Chief Justice to step aside, I think it is right in the order.
Now, how should the Chief Justice and the General Legal Counsel seem to be handling this case, especially when the Chief Justice chairs the General Legal Counsel?
Well, of course, since his name has been mentioned or has been poked in this particular suit, I mean, it is important for justice and fairness that he steps aside. Now, we may not suggest that stepping aside meaning he resigning or waiting for this issue to be dealt with before. He cannot have a hand in the Judicial Council, the proceedings of the Judicial Council. That will amount to, an interference of a sort. And so that is also a good call, and I support that fully.
Should he resign?
That would be a very harsh call, though. But if you look at the content of the suit, and if the President indeed and the Judicial Council want to save their image, I think they will have to deal with the issue as early as possible, so that it is not only the name of the Chief Justice that is smeared, but of course the Judiciary Service itself. Because if the judiciary, which is the echelon of all justices, is indicted in that manner, I think that ordinary Ghanaian will really be the one suffering for it. So, for the case as it stands now, and in the interest of justice, he must not be made to interfere in the process. That is one. Two, as to whether he should resign, I think that his conscience should judge him fairly on that particular decision if he wants to take. Other than that, the President could equally, since he is the appointing authority, could equally institute something that will ensure that probably it steps aside. I think that decision ought to come from the Legal Counsel. And then probably the Ghana Bar Association will also have to put in a word, and so on and so forth. But you see, when somebody alleges something and we all conclude that is true, I mean, that also amounts to some kind of unfairness. Yeah. Because when that happens to us, I don't think that we'll be glad that somebody alleges something and it is taken as the truth. But you see, this particular issue emanates from those who play the game. A lawyer and a judge, a lawyer and a judge, it's just like the tongue and the teeth. You know, they collaborate, they do so many things together. So if you have such a suit coming from a respectable lawyer, you know, of that repute, I think that there is a need for the suit to be given all the credence that it needs so that the issue will be nipped in the bud. And if he has to take the resignation of the Chief Justice, I think it is equally important because what we want is a judiciary that is not indicted. Say that is a battle of hope.
Hello, Jonathan. I'm losing you. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. I think we'll end it here. Many thanks for your time this morning. I'm so grateful that you could make time to talk to us. Many thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so Jonathan Autry is a senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. They're sharing some perspective with us. Now, the Ghana Statistical Services is conducting a mop-up exercise to end the population and housing census. But there are suspicions many have still not been counted. And earlier, the service admits and by more time, the better for all Ghanaians before the 521 million cedis go waste. 2021 population and housing census, which cost the state a whopping 521 million cedis, officially ended yesterday. But there are indications many have not been counted since the exercise began on June 27, more than 2 weeks ago. Last week, Ghana Statistical Service gave an indication that the exercise was progressing steadily and most Ghanaians had been captured. Sources at the Ghana Statistical Service admit about 62% of earmarked households have been counted nationwide. This is even lower in urban centers compared to rural settings. TVXYZ News's random checks indicate though many people in the urban centers had their homes and structures clearly marked by the enumerators, the census officials did not follow up within the 2 weeks period to capture their data. There are clear indications the Ghana Statistical Service would buy more time to collate the data needed.
Because Obaho first to come and check things out. No, Sabaho second come and take the real census.
I'm always at work, and which I'm also working on a project, so I've been busy throughout. That's the reason why I've not been counted.
And kind of there because anytime I'm baby, I'm busy or anything. So we are saying come back, but you move your more feel baby, you're marking camera now. But maybe I'm kind.
It is not clear what may have accounted for this. Ghana Statistical Service had mounted a hotline 080-042-6426 and said census officials were to leave details to their area. But many of the respondents TVXYZ News spoke to claim there are no visitations and they are still at a loss while their homes and structures were marked. So, as of the time of filing that report, the census extension has not been extended yet. But we do know that the Ghana Statistical Service has announced a 7-day mop-up exercise coming in the ongoing, 2021 population and housing census to complete work in the outstanding enumeration areas. Now, the mop exercise will run from Monday, July 12 to Sunday, July 18. 2021. Well, let's do some other stories. And armed robbers are back again on the highways. Now, they shot dead a driver on the highway in the Pru East area after robbing a number of passengers. Now, viewers are warned about the accompanying visuals may be disturbing. Now, TVXYZ News has learnt the driver was shot on Sunday in broad daylight on the main Labo Highway in the Pru East district of the Bono region. Now, the driver who was shot in the head for failing to stop died on the spot. Passengers on board a 207 Benz bus were left traumatized on the highway before the police arrived. Hundreds who rushed to the scene lamented about the increasing threat. Some poured their frustration on the police to intensify patrols.
Yeah, can't do maybe more. Yeah, I thought they are coming on me. Yeah, can't do maybe.
Since 2011, I started with Chassis with Power. Up to date,
Very disturbing scenes from there. Now, before we go, Ghana's COVID-19 cases are on the rise again, raising fears of possible third wave if the deadly Indian strain is not contained. The Ghana Health Service reports that 2 more patients have died, bringing the total number of persons killed by the pandemic to 799, while the number of active cases are yet to shoot up. And that'll be it for this morning's edition of News in Brief on Morning Update. As always, do log on to my xyzonline.com. My name is Westom Hedejame. Have a good morning.
Peace of mind is very essential in your journey to success. For Akwesi Papa, peace of mind means having a proper covering over his family. Literally. For Araba, aka Injection Mama, it's about having the funds to complete her advanced nursing course. And as for Corporal Odami, it's as simple as reporting on time for his shifts. Sometimes all you need is a simple push. At Needs Microfinance, we have tailor-made loan packages for salaried workers under the Controller General's Department. With the low interest rate and quick wahala-free process, you are guaranteed of a timely solution to get back that peace of mind, literally in 30 minutes. Microfinance, growing with you.
We are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Oh, it's brave, fresh, natural, X, mineral, water.
Still got it.
Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Welcome to AutoCheck Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to so many hour crap.
Sure.
Emission, check.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, check.
Visit AutoChecks at Koforodia Aquadum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. AutoChecks, check.
AutoChecks, your safety, our priority.
AutoChecks.
Welcome back to the morning update. My name is Nana Abnasewa, and I'll say good morning to you because I have not seen you yet. This morning, before I discuss my topics for today, you know, this is the social segment where we discuss issues related or bothering you and I. Today, we'll discuss the Ghana Statistical Service counting, or the population and housing census is over, and a number of people have not been counted, but we'll delve into that. And also, 2 teachers have been killed, and details of that we'll discuss also. But before we do, I'd like to share some of the newspaper headlines with you. And also, before I do that, please join us on our social media handles. It's TVXYZ Ghana on Facebook, Twitter, and of course Instagram as well. Or you can also follow my personal Instagram is Nana_Abina_Sewa. My Sewa is with an H. So please, you can follow me as well. And if there are stories or disturbing issues around your neighborhood that you think we should know about, you can DM me on Instagram and I'll quickly respond to that. Do not forget to hashtag XYZ Morning Update whenever you send through your comment. Today we'll open 4 lines, but we'll put the numbers there when the time is due. And also our WhatsApp number is 0556 999 999. Again, this is WhatsApp only. Delving straight into our newspaper headlines, I'm starting with the Business and Financial Times. Now it says that bond market continues bullish run in June. Also, one of the headlines here talks about Africa-wide adoption of digitization crucial to AFTA's success. New taxes, levies coming to tackle the plastic waste as well. Now, the Ghanaian Times is also talking about the 2020 population and housing census ending. So it says 2021 population census ends. GSS begins mop-up exercise today. Hopefully, that will be able to cover up the number of people who have not been counted. Also, Bank of Ghana begins public education on rights, responsibilities of accessing banking and financial services. Government to construct 1,500 kilometers for roads nationwide in the next 4 years. Does he still have 4 years? Well, Daily Graphic also is talking about the media. It says media promote unity. I think we try as much as possible. Also, 80% households are covered in housing census. Now, mop-up scheduled for July 12, as we've indicated earlier in subsequent papers. Also, student fingered in Accra Academy fire outbreaks. BOG to pilot digital CD in September. So it's becoming all digitized. Now, Daily Post also talks about Mahama kicking against the First Lady's salary. We all are kicking against it. I was in the salon and we were discussing it as well. So it's right here. John Mahama kicks against the First Lady's salary. First Lady's salary, yes, I support that. Way through. This is a story that is making banners in all the newspapers, in every online portal, on social media. So it says $5 million bribery allegation. This is in regards to the Chief Justice. Now it says Chief Justice must resign or step aside to enable uninhibited investigations. This is coming from lawyer Sosu. Moving on to the Inquisitor. Today I have to speak our word and say, Eric, I need you. So it says, Keta Sea Defense, Egbele. I got it, didn't I? Also, give Oforikrom Unifier as MCE. Tarzan rise to backbring on first and second ladies as well. Now, Napo gives furniture to Menchia South schools. Well, I'll end with the Herald is also talking about the Chief Justice being named in the $5 million Justice for Sales scandal. Defense Minister hides identities of war soldiers. Now, this is to cover up suspects in abuse of residents. Is right here. If you pick the paper, you can read details of the story as well. Now, Martin Amidu opens fire on Attorney General, calls him immature and disgrace to the exalted and ethical office. So this have been the headlines. Now we're moving straight into our social discussions for today. I'll begin with the GSS population and housing census, which began on the 27th of June and ended yesterday, which is 11th of July. Now, a number of people have not been counted. As I sit here, I haven't been counted. Eric has not been counted. But TVXYZ, of course, because we didn't want to just come and sit here and make it seem like Eric and I alone have been singled out and not counted, we stormed the streets and spoke to a number of people who also expressed similar concerns. Again, I want to remind you that I'll be opening the phone lines so that whoever is watching and thinking we are just sitting here propagandering will understand that this is not coming from us. So when we open the phone lines, you also tell us whether you have been counted or you have not been counted. But before we do, let's look at the Vox Pop.
Because Obaho first to come and check things out. No, Sabaho second to come and take the real census.
Moreover, I'm always at work, and which I'm also working on a project, so I've been busy throughout. That's the reason why I've not been counted.
Me dear, on my kind, but on my by name in if you, this is a friend. Officer, like I said, to be serving information, and I'm providing me now, man. I think the fans are my kind. Yeah. I think last week, somewhere Wednesday, last week Wednesday, I'm kind.
And kind here, because anytime I'm baby, I'm busy or so we are sank on Baba back, but you move your move your baby, you're marking Cabby now, by media and Casade, among kind.
Okay, so now, like I indicated, this is evidence enough. A number of people have not been counted. Yesterday, I also stormed the streets myself. I spoke to a number of people, some store owners. Some of them, their stores have been chalked, but they have not been counted. And there are some, my estate, for instance, none of the houses in there have been chalked, not to talk of counting us. So this is what we are talking about. This is the concerns that we are raising. Now, as we all know, a nation that has good data is able to formulate policies that help the people. Now, what actually concerned me a little has to do with the fact that the GSS have been doing this for a while. And so I was anticipating, I was expecting that this time round it will be a bit different. I mean, if you give us 10 days or 14 days as the days that you want to be counting people, then we expect that you have done your homework and you know this is the number of days that you would need to be able to count everybody. But apparently, there have still been some discrepancies. Hello, good morning. I do have someone on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Me pacho Nana Abna, now promise to say.
Nana Abna, I'm sorry. Me pretty takra there, come here.
Okay, me pacho meet you ya kayo, ana yan kayo.
Ya one can I.
Yan kayo, but ya be o ma be tro die ho.
Why tro me dan ho but one can. Oh yeah, ma could me be am wife from kwala wo fi, me so one can.
Okay, now baby I want baby I fear no one neighborhood on so yan kayo bi ana say ya be kan ebi mu e na yan kan ebi mu.
Wa be tro dan ho but o mo kan obi ya.
Okay, but your brono taka the brono ben so now area ben important now.
No, it's got to cut by one pension precisely.
Okay, mpache me da sia no pen so. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, I think he cannot hear me. Hello, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, please.
Okay, awesome. Please, what's your name?
My name is Mahmoud.
Mahmoud, have you been counted?
No, I have not been counted.
But has your building been chalked?
Yes, it's been chalked.
but
okay.
I've not been counted as.
Okay, but which area or which vicinity are you in exactly in Tamale?
I'm in Lamashevu.
Okay, and the people around you, have they also been counted or not?
Okay, for that I can't best there.
Okay, okay, all right. Thank you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, me Menka. Okay, I've lost him. So basically what we are saying is that when they come to you, some of the field officers also have had issues with people they go to and are not very welcoming. When they come to you, please talk to them nicely. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
What's your name? Ike. Because I see Takwa Ariteso.
Okay. Ike, Pacho Yakayo.
Pacho Dabido. I am one so what can what can done what can the pass.
Now Mr. Oh, Dino, honey, I bet chalky and I said, oh, I lost him also. So as I was saying earlier, please, when they come to you, be nice to them because they've been tasked to do this, and this is important. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Me patron, I want to say I no pay. Oh, I have found today evidence me to minka. Mr. Me patron, your first o kasa free.
Patron kasa free arambe.
Patron so kasa free. Elembele. Oh, okay. Okay. Patron ya be kan o.
Patron wa ba ho. Ebi ameto wanu wa ba ho mpeneji. Wabako wabakan mo bi se bi samese. Wasan su bebiu. Wa chocho yeme bi wodano. Wa bebiu. That's the third time ni. It is feed the way why no. Upon seeing about time ona ya bokodo alembe. Asam kakameka because waba wo abota. For wo susade enwa wa ya mofoma. But waba the way I mean to me about a moment. So the man who will be able to feed there.
Yeah. Patron Meda said, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Patron, only last person I know air casa. Patron, your first and our casa free.
But your friend imagine a question because every
Sunyani. Okay, Patron, ya Kyle.
Patron, no problem kakra with the way here is near Ghana. The entire problem is you can't say what is the purpose of counting? Benefit of counting. What is the process of counting? My information, ending why counting does not mean say a household in the powers already one family member can represent the whole household and count. Me say me obi am kind there. But when you are doing statistics now, and just say different no be what woman na information in my what you say. The people you can count it does not come in. But the
it comes in. But the question we are asking today is that Ufra, if you've been counted, then it's good. But me person me who say you kind one answer you kind way.
Say I say no. The work a question of Busande, but a so straightforward question. But nipa na one moment ya just say, and I make say statistics for no mama kind pan. Omo nendi muaye. I'm not some clear say.
Me pacho, and issues na wa hun na maybe say and Mr. Me pacho bebre. Dia me person me who say ya kind one na say yen kind Mr.
Yen kind me.
Okay, me da say.
Me household o ma be represent
me pacho you. Me pacho me da say bebre. I am afraid yes, sir. Let's stick to the discussions. We are not trying to downplay anybody's work, Mr. As I indicated earlier, I said I'll be talking about two things, which of course we've discussed, the population and housing census. But there's another disturbing story. about 2 teachers that have been killed. And because of that, the other teachers have boycotted the class. Now, they did actually issue a statement, which I would read briefly. It says that a petition addressed to stakeholders by NAT, which states, due to the current happenings in our district, we, the teachers of Sydney East, have withdrawn our services until further notice. These are the reasons why we are withdrawing our services. The killing of the late Elijah Asante, a teacher, dated on the 6th May 2021. And then there is the current shooting of our colleague, late Enin Pratt Jr., a teacher, on the 7th July 2021. Also, there is a shooting of our brother, Mr. Emmanuel Ajemfi, who also escaped from death during the armed robbery attack dated 22nd June 2021. Then there is another attack they talk about on the 17th of March 2021. And these they have stated or indicated as some of the reasons why they boycotted. But I'll be talking to one of the teachers over there to also give us the events, take us through the events that have led to this. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I am speaking to one of the teachers. His name is Ashiangbo Evans Selom. Please, I hope I got your name right.
Yes, please. Yes, please. That's right.
Sure. Now, Evans, could you take us through events that led to the killings and injury of some of your colleagues?
Please come again.
Could you kindly take us through some of the events that led to the killings and injury of your colleagues?
Thank you very much, Abraham. I think one of our colleagues, Enin Kojupra Jr., was returning from the holidays when he had his untimely death at Pemwase and then that country. He was shot by armed robbers.
Okay. All right, so are you saying that all the teachers in that district are not going to school today?
Yes, please. Currently, we submitted a petition to the district assembly and then coordinating council, regional coordinating council. It was through the district assembly to the regional coordinating council, and then we submitted our petition again to the district police commander, through him to the regional police commander, and then to the regional education directorate, telling them that the teachers of Sene East and then Sene, to be precise, we are not going to work again. And then it's not even only the teachers, but all government workers in the district, because we are not safe. We don't know who is next.
Okay, so in your petition, please, I don't have a lot of time, so in about 30 seconds, could you answer and wrap this up for me? In your petition, what are you asking for, and what has been the response so far?
Yeah, what we are asking for from the government is that we need a proper and competent military patrol team, and then provision of police visibility in every 200 meters on our roads from Atiku to Afghan, so to Kojukrom Road, and a mounted of unnecessary barrier by the police should be abolished, because they've mounted barriers in the township.
Right.
Why we think it's unnecessary. When the regional minister came here, we informed him about that, and he told us that they do all this based on their intelligence, the police intelligence that they pick.
Okay.
But we don't see. Yeah.
Evans, I'm sorry, my time is up, so we can't continue the conversation. But thank you for talking to us, and we do hope that this issue is resolved so that you can go back and teach our children, because they are future leaders. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Right, my name is Nana Abnasewa. Today I will not be talking much. Erica Hiano is ready. His guests are ready for the newspaper review, so do not go nowhere.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. natural mineral water. Simply natural. Welcome to the Royal Dazzle Event Center. With a lush and well-maintained lawn and garden, you are assured of the best serene and comfortable atmosphere to organize all your family and social events. Live the royal moments here with friends and family. The hosting capacity of 600 to 800 people makes Royal Dazzle the most versatile of places to host weddings, parties, funerals, conferences, concerts, and many more. Create your memories with us. Call us for inquiries on 055-814-8585 or 024-620-2144 or pass by and speak to any of our friendly staff. Locate us at My John, close to Zoom Lion headquarters. Royal Dazzle Event Center, creating memories.
Tam Maria, I'm kind of because I am no more budget born again. Why have a beer? You can be right.
HD logo the bottom. Where you say HD local channels na mo hwɛ. And so pictures here clear. They are 5 times better. As other channels that could be sure. So go the mention mon tram rock away. Oh, what the pictures.
Who knows tomorrow?
What a picture. Could you AD plus decoder or multi TV and now Electroland agent PR natural local channels now HD the here so better
Star 879 hash
numbers from Kubu box and now the activity AD channels now.
Get an HD Plus decoder from now till the 9th of August for just $89.99 Ghana cedis and enjoy 3 months free subscription. Enjoy all the excitement and live sports action in the HD Plus Air Bosso Feely promo lasts from 7th June to 9th August 2021. Visit hd-plus.com.gh or call 024-243-9872 for more info.
Half a nose for good things.
Thanks for staying with us. This is TV XYZ. So I've now dealt with 2 key issues. One has to do with the population and housing census. The Statistical Service says about 80% of Ghanaians have been counted, or the households have been visited by the enumerators. We did a quick survey by allowing people to call, and most of those who called said they have not been counted. It gives an indication that the Ghana Statistical Service has a lot of work to do over the next 7 days. Otherwise, the data they will collate will not be good enough to inform government. And don't forget, this is at a cost of over 521 million cedis. So we'll leave it there. We also know that in the Sene East and the Sene West districts, the teachers are on strike. And it's not about government. They say that 2 of their colleagues have been killed by armed robbers. And so they are boycotting classes in protest. Letters have been written to the assemblies and forwarded to the regional coordinating council. We want to see how this will end. And especially if you remember on the news, we showed you the sad story of a driver who was shot in broad daylight while he was moving passengers on a 207 Benz bus to one other location. Actually, the incident happened at Labo area in the Pru East district of the Bono region. So we also have to be very vigilant on our highways. We know the police is doing what we call highway patrols, but they need to intensify it. And again, COVID is real. Ghana is recording increasing cases. The case count has gone beyond 2,000 now, about 2,334 or so. And the number of people dead has risen above 800. And there are worries that this may even get worse. I'll be taking some snippets of information from our guests because we understand that some of our facilities are getting choked. Then the biggest of all stories, the bribery allegation against the Chief Justice Lawyer Akoto Ampao. How should this be handled? We'll look at this, and of course, we'll wrap up on salaries for the first and second ladies. The Trades Union Congress has issued a statement saying no, no, no. Mondays, you know our guest, Alexander Chumberima, is a legal practitioner, and Omunwa Basem, and this morning he'll be helping us. Charlie, that's why I now understand why you are looking fresh. Legal fees.
We work for our money.
You work for your money. But there is another aspect of the money we are going to discuss today.
All right.
So Alexander Chumberima is a legal practitioner. And then, of course, everybody knows him, Bukulong people. He's Dean of Students at the University of Professional Studies, Accra. He's Kweku Mensa Mauto. He has decided to hide the biggest portfolio he has, Doc. We call him Doc. This is Book Doc. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
When I wear black on set, people ask me, now, why are you in white? You are celebrating birthday. Are you celebrating your birthday?
You know, for a decade now, the best team in the whole world had lost out of touch.
Is it Arsenal or England?
The cup has come home. Accra Hearts of Oak.
Accra Hearts of Oak.
The Phobians.
Phobia.
Yesterday we
So I'm sure
were so proud.
Some people were saying that, Charlie, football can lift souls. Even if you are broke, hearts put smiles on your face. So did you chill small or just wearing white?
So you can just imagine. From the stadium, to the house.
Oh, you watched it at the stadium?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alex, I'm sorry, with Tim there went to me, Anna.
No, I'm a strong Hearts fan.
Yeah, strong Hearts fan.
Oh, yes.
I know some people, when the teams seem to be losing, they chicken out and support the winning team.
In Ghana, I've only supported one team. It's us. That's all.
It's the best team in the whole world.
I've never supported any other team. The only team I've supported in Ghana here is just
I grew up in the central region, so I supported Busunya Dwarfs.
Oh, okay.
The Dwarfs who never perform magic. I'm sure my friends in Cape Coast will be saying, Awereke and Sabakau. But let's move on to the serious issues. We spend more time on allowances for first and second ladies, the controversies around it, and the Chief Justice and the allegation we cannot substantiate, but it's an issue we cannot just shelve. But let's take brief comments on COVID. Now, Ghana Health Service is telling us that it's getting serious. You are a COVID-19 protocol advocate. Is it coming to you as a surprise?
No, not at all. Not at all. And good morning to all your viewers. And it's unfortunate we find ourselves in this mess again. Normally, looking at the way and manner the virus spreads, and the fact that there have been some other variants, which we are told, that the Delta variants, which we are told that it even spreads faster than the previous ones. We've been talking about it virtually every week, that people should be very mindful, in as much as we've all not received the vaccine. Personally, I've not even received mine, so I'm not immune. So I'm very, very careful with where I go, what I eat, and then what I touch. I try as much as possible to observe the protocols. Very, very important. But it's unfortunate, Eric, that people still believe that because some politicians are not doing the right thing, they are not wearing it, and that the thing doesn't even exist. I mean, the virus doesn't even exist. And look, you speak to some average guy, they will tell you that, look, forget it. The government is just trying to make money, therefore. But the thing is real. So we can only encourage them to change their attitude. Because when it gets closer to you, then you get to appreciate this weekend I was a little bit disturbed when a whole medical doctor on his platform did warn Ghanaians that, look, the ICUs are getting filled up. I mean, there are calls, there are even calls and emergencies from private hospitals, and the numbers are increasing. It is reflected in the weekly numbers. That if we don't take care and this thing escalates, how many hospitals do we have in this country? If we cannot even contain malaria, let alone this deadly virus. And you see, Eric, the initial research, as I always say, they said it's so much, resonates with the weather. And we are heading towards the cold weather. We can only...
at this stage, because we are not spending much time on this, because we've done much of education,
so much.
And at this stage you can only relate to them what the situation is. Would it be appropriate at this time for government to reintroduce strict enforcement of the protocols? Because as Doc has always been saying, we know it, we have relaxed it, we ourselves don't seem to be aware that we are living with something that can easily kill us. No, I was going to, but you can take maybe 30 seconds to respond to this, because I was directing the question at Alex.
No, that's the way to go. You see, nothing has changed. We've not been told that we have eased the restrictions, like the basic protocols. People are not observing the protocols in trotro. You see the trotro mate in the past. You see them wearing it, observing the protocol. People are walking by the streets and wearing nothing.
School children. Even worse.
They are becoming worse. Unless there's restricted areas, okay, where you will not be allowed to enter without mask. But the police are responsible to ensure that these laws are enforced.
Now, lawyer, the question was, should government now take steps, especially because Ghana Health Service has made it clear that we are getting to dangerous times. They seem to be instructing assemblies, the police, etc., to enforce the restrictions. Or we should take it that those of us who are privileged in society, who have taken our jabs, are protecting ourselves now, because the 300,000, we know frontline medical health staff, senior journalists, and some other senior reporters or editors. We know the traditional leaders, the prominent ones. We know members of parliament. So all the key people who we see today as our leaders, the four arms of government, all of us have at least had our double jabs. I have received mine. So, and we don't care. Is that where we are now, Alex?
Well, some of us did not take it, but we've not received anything. So I can say that it's because some people have received it. That is why we are being less concerned. But I think it's not even about the government coming back to reinforce whatever they have done. The mandate has been given out already. You don't need him to come and reorder you to go and do what you know you are supposed to do. So I've said something, and I always say that it's like security. You need to protect yourself first before you protect somebody. So we should individually protect ourselves and then take it from there. Myself, all my cars, I have nose masks, sanitizers, and in those things. You saw me when I was coming up here. I have my own. I only take it off only when we are on set and those things. So we need not to joke with it, because I always say that I was in the US when this whole thing started, and I saw the number of people who were dying. At the time I was leaving the US, it was over 100,000 people who were gone.
And now we know the figures. Very scary.
And you see, sometimes if you want to understand the figures that we are talking about, take it like, say, if your community you have 100,000 people, it's like the whole community is gone.
So we are not spending much time on this, but what I can share with you is that the Delta strain is hitting people seriously in the US. And in the US, where they have lifted restrictions for those who have taken double jabs, they are thinking of reimposing restrictions. It's same in the UK. even countries which have done 50, 60, 70% of double jabs or at least single dose for citizens, adult citizens, that's where they are. So we'll leave it there and hope that authorities will take this up and see how all of us collectively, but my panelists say the responsibility lies on you and me as individuals to take our own lives into ourselves. Once we protect ourselves, we are protecting our neighbors, and as our neighbors do it, then the country together will be protected. Now let's move on to the serious issues. The Chief Justice. You know the issues by now. I shared with you the allegations and counter-allegations. It all started with a client, a petitioner to the General Legal Counsel. Now, what he's actually suggesting, according to Xyz Abranu Kwesi Atta the 6th, is that he hired the services of a lawyer. The lawyer told him that, pay me money. I will use it to bribe my way out to ensure that the judgment is in your favor. Along the line, I realized that he has not used the money. He should pay me back. He doesn't want to pay me. So I've reported him to the General Legal Counsel. That was March 2021. That's the beginning of all shows. Then in July 2021, the person who how do you call it, the Xyz Abranu Kwesi Atta the 2nd was complaining about, also issued a long statement to the General Legal Counsel. And I will share along with you the statement from Akwesi Afrifa as I summarize or paraphrase what is in that letter. All he's saying is that, yes, it is true that I've had an engagement with Xyz, but the fact is that I was rendering services to him. I made a request for 1 million cedis as legal fees. So it is not that I wanted 300,000 or the said amount, $100,000 to go and pay bribe. Then along the line, he abrogated the services. But he told me that somebody says he knows people highly connected in government, including Akotampao. The name rings a bell. And the Chief Justice demanded $5 million. And the man had already paid $500,000. That's the summary of it. He has issued a counter statement that he doesn't even know the Chief Justice. But that's where it is. Let me start with you, Alex. How does this come to you, and what impression does it leave on the system where you belong to?
First of all, let's take this on record. Per our profession, all over the world, lawyers are not supposed to promise a client of success or things that will lead to success of your case. Because at the end of the day, yours is just to go and argue before the court or put things together and submit it to whatever place you are representing the clients. The decision is not from you. You understand me? So it will be very unfortunate and it's very unprofessional for any lawyer to promise a client that give me this and I'll make sure that this happens to your case. No. Now, the other issue also is that there is an allegation that the lawyer said he was going to pay bribe to the CJ and so on and so forth. But to the best of my understanding, there is nowhere that this lawyer paid any bribe to the CJ, right? Eric, I stand to be corrected.
No, this is what is on...
No, I mean, has Akwesi ever paid any bribe to the CJ?
No.
Right. Thank you. So now, my point here is that it is an allegation from a third party. You see, we would have taken this matter very serious if you compare it to, for instance, the Anas issue. The Anas issue was not just an allegation. It came with serious evidence. One of the judges was even met outside the office. He got down from his car to meet the party and took money, and all was filmed. That is a serious thing. But in this case, you allege that the CJ needs 5 million, and you are paid 500,000. I mean, that is even an insult now. How can you say 5 million? You've not even paid even 2 million.
No, see, hold on, Alex. Let us look at the issue and break it down one by one.
All right.
Akwesi Afrifa, I'm sure you may know, is not an ordinary lawyer.
Of course.
Akwesi Afrifa knows the implication of whatever he writes to the General Legal Council in response to a petition against him. In that petition, there are some elements of claims that correlate, that he has received money from Ojedom, i.e., whether it is legal fees or to go and influence the ruling of a case. And so, for all these allegations to be made against the Chief Justice, and of course, whether it is true that Akoto Ampao actually took over the case or otherwise, all these are elements in it. So the face of the issue may appear to look like, okay, these are allegations coming from a third party. But these are allegations that are intertwined with some admission of some conversation regarding money influencing ruling. So you see on the screen, for example, this petition against Akwesi Afrifa, and this one came from Ojedom, where we know that the allegations are embedded in the statement, and so they will move on to the second page, where you see the claims that he has made. And so in that claim, you see the amount he claims was charged, monies that were supposed to be refunded, and what actually hasn't come to him. Then if you look at the next statement, which comes from Akwesi Afrifa to the General Legal Council, I'll share briefly on the screen so that those of you who are watching us will also appreciate the submission by Alexander Chum Berema. Now, in that statement, this is a categorical allegation by Akwesi Afrifa. He said he informed me that the Chief Justice had demanded a bribe of $5 million for a successful outcome in his case, and that he had already paid $500,000 to the Chief Justice. He further indicated that he was hard-pressed to raise the remainder of the $5 million, and so I should refund some of the 300,000 cedis paid to me as fees, because he had, in line with the advice of the Chief Justice, engaged Akoto Ampao Esquire as solicitor to continue the case before the Supreme Court. And I'm sure that they'll be sharing this statement with you on the screen. Now, on the sense, out of a sense of dignity on my part, I told him that I will rather refund the entire 300,000 cedis paid to me and bear the cost of air travel, hotel bills, and other expenditure incurred by me in prosecuting his case at the Cape Coast and in Accra. We aggregated the 300,000 paid to me as being the equivalent of $50,000, which I was to refund to him, and it goes on and on and on. So there are three legs of the allegation. So I want us to look at it into detail based on the merit of the claims made before the General Legal Council.
You see, Eric, I wouldn't want to delve much into the issue before the council, because they are supposed to deliberate into it, assess the weight of it, and then make their decision. So I will not be going there much. But let me tell you certain things that happen. You see, every client who engages any lawyer has the right to change that lawyer as and when he or she wants to. There is no rule that says that if you engage me as your lawyer, keep me till thy kingdom come. So the decision as to whether the client will want to proceed with you to the end of his case or change you along the line is up to the client to make that decision. And any time when the client makes such decisions, I mean, he or she is not questioned as to why he decides that way. Every lawyer knows this. You understand me? Now, there's also the issue of legal fees. Yes, we don't work for free. Every service that you provide a client, depending on the kind of work that you are doing, has its own attributed fees. And that is what you go with. You understand? Also, the issue of the bribe thing. You see, my problem with that bribe allegation is that I think I would have been much happy, I would have been able to speak to it strongly if it was coming from the chief.
Ojedom.
Yeah.
See,
because in this case, Eric, I'm coming. You see, there's a saying in our local dialect that you can't just listen to one side. These are three different people.
Yeah.
The Chief Justice is one, the lawyer is one, the chief is one. And it's only one person who is speaking now. We've not heard anything from anything from the CJ. We've not heard anything directly from the chief confirming or denying these allegations. What I just
now, there's an element of bribery to influence ruling in all the two major statements that have come out.
Made by who?
Now, Ojedom is saying that he was told, and I want to read categorically what Ojedom is saying, is that he was said to have paid the money to his lawyer, in this case, Afrifa, that he should give him money for what he described as ways and means, and to influence the ruling. That element is there and influences public perception about our judicial system and whether people pay for justice. That same allegation of bribery to influence ruling is captured in Kwesi Afrifa's letter to the General Legal Counsel. What is missing now is whether indeed what he claims to have been told about Chief Justice demanding $5 million is true or false.
Thank you. That is the point I'm making. That is exactly the point I'm making. Yeah. And that's why I'm telling you that we cannot just limit ourselves to one issue that has come out and then make a pronouncement.
How should this be handled?
Well, it is already on course with the legal counsel. They will come out with their own pronouncement, but they will not just listen. You see, that is why it is from a petition and then a response. That is telling you that they are not just listening to one side, that let's say the chief only, but rather, even where the chief has made an allegation or charge against you before the council has also given that a lawyer the platform to also respond to either deny or confirm to some of the things that have been raised. And then the council will then take it further and deliberate.
Okay, so the council sits there as a body. Does the Chief Justice have a role to play as far as the General Legal Counsel's operations are concerned, especially in this case where there are allegations that cannot be proven or may go beyond just the mere allegation, but further subjected to further proof from any of the ends to ensure that people understand that the system has not been manipulated? Where do you situate the Chief Justice in this?
Eric, I think you are still moving me to the point to either confirm or deny that the Chief Justice may influence the decisions of the council. But you see, one thing that we all need to understand is that the main purpose of having the legal counsel is to regulate activities of lawyers.
No, the reason why I'm asking this question, unless maybe it is a difficult situation for you to speak to, and therefore you don't want to address the issue as it should be. There's a school of thought that the Chief Justice chairs the General Legal Counsel. Is it true or false?
He's the chairperson.
Now, if he's the chairperson and a very serious allegation has been made against him, especially when there is widespread perception about influencing of the court system as an issue is in Ghana. That's why I asked the question, where do you situate him as far as this allegation is concerned?
That because he's the chair, he's going to influence the decisions of the legal counsel?
No, but I see, obviously there will surely be some committees to be formed.
Exactly, I mean, yes.
But you see, I think where I'm getting Eric from is the fact that if you are the chairman, because if you have been involved in meetings, the chairman will now probably sit in and chair the formation of committees. So the question is he going to form the committee to investigate him? Okay, or there is a neutral system available because he's involved.
Yeah,
he's involved
but
here.
You and I know very well that there have been times that cases go to court and judges are being asked to step out of the cases if it's something that involves them. So in this very case, that he's alleged to have taken something from someone, whereby, I mean, the lawyer is making that allegation before the council. And as you have said, the chief has also made an allegation, but not directly to the Chief Justice, because from what you read, his allegation is like he was told that he will do this.
The chief has issued a statement that...
Again?
Yes,
he issued a rejoinder.
Yeah.
But the rejoinder is controversial.
Okay.
He says, I've not met the Chief Justice before.
Okay. That is why.
I don't know him. I only see him on TV or from afar.
Okay.
I don't even know his telephone number.
Yeah. Okay.
But the last paragraph is instructive.
Yeah.
It says that I have since applied for a copy of the said response to my petition against lawyer Afrifa, in which those fabrications and allegations are said to be contained and will appropriately react to the General Legal Counsel upon receipt of same. So the man has responded partly to claims going around. But he says, I would want to really delve into the statement. I'm going to receive a copy. and respond to it.
The copy of the lawyer's response.
Yes.
And then when you receive it, then he's going to respond properly.
Right.
So now, you see, then it takes you to the point I was making earlier on that, which is, we are just dealing with one side.
In summary, what you are suggesting is that it's a foolish case.
No, I'm saying that we are just only hearing from one side strongly, which is the lawyer side. Okay?
Okay.
Because the chief's case, he has told that he doesn't have any idea with the chief justice. He doesn't know him. He doesn't have his number. He doesn't have anything to do with him. So if you say that if you are making an allegation against someone who you said has been made to go and see the chief justice, or he's been asked to go and see the chief justice and make some payment and so on and so forth, and the person says, I don't even know him, how is that possible?
Okay, now let me take your submission on this.
Okay.
Implications and how it should be handled.
Okay, so I think it's a serious case, just as our counsel has mentioned. I mean, they have the legal brains. What I can say is that the Chief Justice is involved. I mean, it's alleged to be involved.
Okay, lawyer, just 1 second.
Okay.
I'm told that Kojo Aban, the spokesperson for the chief, is on the line with us.
Okay.
Let me speak to him briefly. Kojo, good morning.
Good morning.
Kojo, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I hope you are fine this morning.
I'm good.
First, can you confirm that this statement signed by Ojedom Abranu Kwesiata the 6th, the rejoinder, is actually from him?
I've seen that rejoinder, that if the content is anything to go by, he said that what Mr. Efifa is saying is not true, and that he's engaging his lawyers to come out with appropriate response. If that is the rejoinder, it is true. It's coming from him.
Okay, so Lawyer Aban, you understand the legal system very well. Ojedom raised an allegation against the respondent in the case before the General Legal Counsel, i.e. Akwesi Afrifa. And in that statement, he alleges that Akwesi Afrifa actually took some money from him. Can you help us to understand whether the money was for the ways and means or for legal fees?
I think Ojedom has made these things very clear. According to his narration, he paid legal fees of 300,000 Ghana cedis in full to Mr. Efifa. And in the course of time, Mr. Efifa made a demand of him to give him $200,000 for what he described as the ways and means. Then some kind of bargaining went on, and then he gave him 100,000 Ghana cedis for $100,000 for that purpose. So the thing is that from the narration of Ojedom, this $100,000 is not part of the
legal fees. Okay.
The legal fees, 300,000 Ghana cedis,
Plus,
paid in full,
plus the money that should have gone for the ways and means we cannot establish. Now,
we cannot establish, yes.
When he abrogated the services or ended the hiring of Akwesi Afrifa, can you establish that he went for Akoto Ampao?
Oh, yes. Akoto Ampao is his lawyer now in that case. And he engaged Akoto Ampao in the latter part of September towards October of 2020.
Good. So the controversy is now about his allegation or claim against your chief, because you are the spokesperson, Ojedom, that Ojedom told him that he had met people who had highly connected people in government. And I've seen some names pop up besides Akoto Ampao. And he was advised, and after meeting the Chief Justice, that pay $5 million, $500,000 was advanced, and that he was going to ensure that the case or the ruling goes in his favor. How is he handling this allegation, especially when there's an element of a change in lawyer, which is normal, but the claim that it was upon the advice of the Chief Justice to go for Akoto Ampao, who actually took over the case? That is where people may want to tie the knot if they want to do that by force, or maybe the chief actually explains how things may have happened.
You see, let me expose all the fallacies in that statement. You see, I think this is an ex post facto creation of a story to make it seem as though what he's saying is true. The thing is, you already stated that it is normal for anybody to hire and fire a lawyer. So if, for instance, today you hire me and then you fire me tomorrow, and the next day you go for my friend Kwesi, and after you have engaged Kwesi, I'm writing something, and I come to write to say that, oh, you came to fire me and told me that somebody has recommended that you should go and see Kwesi, and that's why you went for Kwesi. It could be that I went for Kwesi not on the recommendation of anybody, right? But because it has happened, you write that story, and if people do not dissect it very well, they may think that circumstantially it is part of your case. It goes to strengthen your case. But let us put that on aside. Now, Ojedam himself has explained and has denied that in his life he has never met the Chief Justice anywhere apart from seeing him at the bench and he in the well of the court. And I mean, each person, he as a party,
all right,
the Chief Justice sitting as a judge.
Okay, Alex, we don't have much time, but I'll ask 2-in-1 questions, and then you paraphrase your response so that I come back to the studio to engage my guests. There are three things. Either Akwesi Afrifa has a problem with the Chief Justice, and so he's fabricating an issue against him when he's not involved in anything between him and Ojedom, or there's something wrong with him. I don't know whether you know Akwesi Afrifa. Do you see him as somebody who has a problem or has an issue with the Chief Justice to concoct such a wild allegation before the General Legal Council?
The thing is that he has his own animosity towards the man. He cannot run away from that. It's something that I know. It's something that Ojedom himself knows. Because in his engagement with him, there have been many times that this lawyer has spoken ill of the Chief Justice. The reason being that at the time that he was handed down that suspension, the Chief Justice was the chairman of the General Legal Council. So he was the one who handed down that punishment to him. That's the first point. The second thing is that as we speak, the very person who is alleged to have been bribed was the one who even dissented in the ruling. The Chief Justice dissented in that ruling of Ojedom versus Vodafone. In the application where Ojedom sought to also adduce fresh evidence on appeal. So let us just put it together. It's unthinkable for anybody to suggest that when that person has allegedly taken a bribe, he would be the person to even dissent in that ruling. Secondly, Ojedom himself, on the 1st of September 2020, petitioned the Chief Justice himself that on the basis of certain comments that he had made in the courtroom, he felt that the Chief Justice was prejudiced against him, and so he should recuse himself. The question simply is this: how could a person who is alleged to have taken bribe from Ojedom would be the same person who Ojedom would write to recuse himself?
Okay.
So what kind of help was he going to give him?
Fine submission. We'll leave it there and expect how things will unfold going forward. Thank you very much. So Alexander Kum Aban is the spokesperson, he's a lawyer.
Not Kum. Alexander Kojo Kum Aban.
Oh, Kojo Kum Aban. Okay. Pocha Efantinya.
Efantipa mi Gomoni.
Gomonya. Okay. Maso me yang nanyu bat me fiadina.
Yo, me lukuma.
All right. Bye bye for now, say. Okay. So this adds value to the conversation at this time.
Thank you.
And I want to play the devil's advocate without just concluding that any of the parties is right or wrong.
Okay. So Eric,
how should
just a quick one? You see that he has come to, reinforce some of the points I was trying to make to you.
Yes.
Here. That
the question I asked was very simple. When I narrowed in that there's a case before somebody who plays a key role in the functions of a body called General Legal Counsel.
Yeah.
At this stage, should he step aside? Should a different body be set up to look at this to make sure that the conclusion will be no song? Because we are living in a country where there's a lot of suspicion around him and the Supreme Court or the judicial system because of past events. These suspicions are what are fueling the way people are responding to this allegation, whether it is true or otherwise. But let me take his submission. I'll come to you, Alex, to wrap up, and then we'll move on to the other topic.
You see, Eric, I think if you are to do a careful, reading of what the issues are from Ojidom, the allegation, the petition to the Chief Justice, just check the content. I'm very particular with the issue of paying for gymnastics. I don't know whether that exists in law, because ways and means. Ways and means, we know. What does ways and means mean? Is it to facilitate TNT or to go and see people for?
It actually means to go and bribe your way through to get the ruling done differently.
No. It could mean a lot.
I understand you perfectly.
Eric,
gymnastics. Ways and means.
It's not about.
Ways and means can be judicial.
Thank you. It is so many things. So if you just limit it to a point, Alex, it means going to pay that. How does that mean?
Alex, when legal fees are paid to any lawyer, and Alex's submission from the start is that no lawyer can assure a client that
we don't do that.
That is true.
Now, if you listen to lawyer Komaban, he was saying that they pay the legal fees.
Of course, that one you have to pay.
Hold it. And then they paid something in addition. And he has confirmed that there was an amount for ways and means.
What is ways and means? It's for him to come and tell us. And the one who took it can tell us.
I see a fine line you are trying to draw to see. People
Eric,
are watching you.
I know.
Eric, can I help you? Eric, okay. I have the petition here. Let me just read a bit of that. He said, in the course of finding the case, he suggested to me that it was in my interest to, beside his fully paid up fees, provide an amount of $100,000 to enable him to do some ways and means into bracket gymnastics. So here the lawyer is assuring him that in his own interest. Okay, you see, that is where the issue comes in here.
Thank you.
So Ojidom knows very well that he's paying for ways and means. And that ways and means,
we don't know what exactly it is.
No, but it has come out to, the allegation has come out that...
I'm surprised that the two of you...
No.
But you know the ways and means.
You are trying to rationalize...
No, you know the ways and means. You know it.
The ways and means.
But somebody is...
Ways and means what?
How is it that in one breath, you are saying that the ways and means is flat? It is not likely to be monies being taken in addition to legal fees to go and influence the judicial system.
Who said that?
And then that's what the Ojidom has said, that he paid ways and means. And we are saying that the ways and means has not been defined. But on the other leg, a lawyer is saying that the same ways and means has now been defined. And we are saying that one is a non-starter.
No, we didn't say that.
Okay, make your submission.
You are not getting us.
I am getting you. Okay, come again.
So you see, here, the issue has to do with... I have a problem with Ojidom himself. How on earth... I know he's a chief. Ojidom, because there's a title.
Yeah. I don't know which of the towns he is.
But he's a chief. Now, for you to pay bribe in addition, or bribe or whatever gymnastics you're talking about, whether for juju or whatever, ways and means, then we have to question your character as well. Okay? Because if truly he even explained the ways and means to you that I need to pay some monies to some individuals to get this case won.
And if you know you have a genuine case.
And if you know you have a genuine case, why will you part with such a, $100,000? And so you see, when you read further, it says that when he realized that the posture of Lawyer Frifa he did not use the money for
the intended
purpose. He refunded $25,000. So the $75,000 is what influenced the decision to petition what?
The council.
Okay. So in this regard, the next leg of the case is that the accusation was that the money was going to be used to influence the Chief Justice so that, the case could be influenced. So is Ojidom interested in that trend? Because he has shown commitment that if truly the gymnastic amount was going to be used to influence, we have to question his character as a chief.
Because the one who pays bribes commits an offense.
It's commits an offense.
He says I've not paid anything.
No, he has paid.
Oh, he has not paid anything.
$100,000.
So in this case, he says he has not paid anything. And we are saying that we don't know what is the meaning of influence and means.
Listen very carefully.
But I see.
Okay, no, Alex, you will understand. You see, it is looking like a cock and bull story, but if you take it on the face of just the statements that have been made, you may leave out the serious concern the public should have about what is happening. This is a respected chief. The chief is admitting that I made an advance of an amount for ways and means or gymnastics we cannot prove. There's another respected lawyer who is also writing before the General Legal Council, making even more serious allegations against a system. In all that, there's an element of the ability to influence the outcome of any case in court. It is in the statement by the Ojidom, the 100,000 for gymnastics, whichever way it is, the allegation by Akwesi Afrifa. So, as it is, should the General Legal Council throw it away? Should an independent body be formed to look at this? Should the Chief Justice step aside and allow the public to see that the General Legal Council is operating fairly? I'll take these brief responses so that we can spend the last 20 minutes on the payment for spousal wives.
So who's taking it? He's taking it.
He's taking it, and then you conclude.
Okay, so the issue of recusing yourself, if indeed the Chief Justice is alleged to be involved in this, I know there are systems there. I don't think he will form a committee and be on it himself. I mean, it's a committee, so the way and manner we form committees will be formed for the issue to be investigated. I do not want us to probably recommend this, the situation where we will have to probably ask the Chief Justice to step aside. No, he may recuse himself in the formation of the committee to sit on the case because of even an alleged, which some of the petitioners have even said that, look, I've never had any meeting, but the fact that the name was mentioned, okay, that is why probably he may recuse himself in the formation of the committee. But all in all, I mean, the General Legal Council will surely come out.
Okay, your brief comment on this.
I'm just, I mean, associating myself with exactly what he has said. If there is a need, I mean, once the CJ's name has come up, I strongly believe that with his persona and the kind of office that he holds, he will not at the same time double to sit in the matter and try to, I mean, judge the issue. He will definitely try to recuse himself and then make sure that the right thing is done. Aside that, we have all noted it here, but there is something that we all need to understand. Professionally, per our ethics, it is against the ethics to make such promises to clients if you are handling their cases. Number two, to even have the intention of going to give bribe to somebody alone is an offense. And if indeed the chief opted and made payment for bribe as allegedly to be paid, he himself should, I mean, Barry said
so I said that's the last comment, but there's one thing that will keep hanging. Public perception about Ghana's judicial system. Has it been dented more or it remains same? And the way the case is handled, how is it likely to influence public perception?
The way which case is handled?
This particular allegation.
No, but I mean, the decision is not out here, so we can't say how.
The question, you didn't listen to the question. I'm saying that there's a public perception. There is an issue that has come up. How it's handled, is it likely to have a positive or negative impact?
Well, that is an obvious, I mean, it's obviously yes. If it's not handled well, it's going to have a negative impact on the profession. Because don't forget that in the past, this Anas initial video that happened some years back, it brought a very wrong perception on the minds of people. And I remember very well when the current CJ went to Parliament for his vetting. Several questions were put to him around that, as to whether he would be accepting gift or not, and he explained things that, what is wrong with knowing Alex knowing Eric, and Eric decided to give me a gift or a hamper or something? That is nothing. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to influence my decision towards a case that I'm sitting on or something. You understand? So if it's not handled well, indeed, it will bring a negative impression. But that is why it needs to be handled in a very proper manner. And in this case, what I'm suggesting is that if at the end of the day they reckon that the chief himself has violated any law, they should prosecute him.
Okay. So,
or if the lawyer has also violated, gone against any of our ethics or the professional rules, he also must be dealt with. That's all.
Okay. Now, the same question in a different way.
Okay.
The same question is that if you monitor social media, the connection of Chief Justice and Akoto Ampao is also being exploited at a different level. How should this inform the General Legal Counsel in handling this case to ensure that public perception remains intact, and if it's positive for the service?
You see, Eric, at the end of the day, no matter the public perception, there's a structure, there's a system that this case will be taken through. And the outcome is what everybody is interested in here. And we kept on re-emphasizing and re-echoing the fact that, look, all the parties who had probably played a role, which we may probably describe as fraudulent or capable of corrupting the system, they must be brought to book. And we know the work of the General Legal Counsel over the years. Lawyers have been sanctioned, some of them suspended for years. If my memory serves me right, I think the current MP of my area,
Medina. Actually, he has issued a statement saying that the Chief Justice must recuse himself because he understands the operations of the General Legal Counsel, so he has his own reservation.
Yeah,
but
I think that's the same thing we all say.
Okay,
yeah. We all know, but I see. Eric, probably to end, to probably conclude on this particular topic, I want to submit that, you see, we are watching closely. We know some of the lawyers have fallen prey to some of these things. And if truly what we are reading is to go by, that an amount of 100,000 was charged outside the legal fees, which even our brother here said it's not even done anywhere.
It's wrong.
Then a free fire should not go scot-free.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave the rest to you. You'll be sending us your messages via WhatsApp, 0556 999 999. Now, the Trades Union Congress has rejected the Intiamwa Beidu Committee's recommendation. I want to quote a paragraph as in the TUC's response. Actually, they issued a statement yesterday. It says, Ghanaians appreciate what the first and second ladies are doing to support women's rights, blah, 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 blah. But neither the Constitution of Ghana nor the laws of the land assign them any official duties and responsibilities. Therefore, the TUC cannot support the payment of salaries, and it goes on and on. I don't know. Let me start with you, Doc. We don't have much time.
Okay.
And so I'll give you about 4 minutes to make a submission uninterrupted.
Okay.
Speak strongly for or against this position.
Okay. I think this discourse has been going on for, I think, some days now. The whole of last week, Ghanaians were really involved in really assessing the probably suitability of paying our first and second ladies as office holders. But once again, the lawyers have come out. Some came from the legal point of view, economic point of view, and also that obligation of first ladies' point of view. One, the legal point of view, we've been advised that when it comes to that particular committee, the mandate was to recommend a package.
There is a paragraph that is very instructive in the TUC statement.
Thank you.
It says the TUC in the statement says it has that the backdated salaries from 2017 have already been paid to the first and second ladies per recommendations of the committee. And I want to quote, salary arrears dated back from January 2017 have since been paid to the wives of the President Nana Akufo-Addo and the Vice President Samira Baumia, in accordance with the committee's recommendation, which was approved by both sides of Parliament. And that is very instructive. You remember yesterday, last Friday, people were computing it to be around 6 million cedis. Now, if this has already been paid, according to the TUC from its checks, what does it say about us and furtherance of your
Eric, not going back to what has been mentioned earlier, we all know that the committee was to work in accordance with Article 71 office holders. And it's been established that these two parties, the first and second ladies, are not part of it. So from the onset, it's null and void. That's what the lawyers have told us. Now, the issue of what people are saying, what organizations are churning out with respect to some of this particular issue. Even this morning, I've heard that the committee have said that they are not, I mean, there's a document I read. These days, I'm very particular and circumspect when it comes to documents I read on social media. I just read this, I mean, this morning that the committee never made that recommendation. So the question is, why are we discussing all this? And just now, in fact, I've not read this particular release from
the Trade Union Congress,
TUC. However, if truly these amounts have been paid already, then as Ghanaians, we are not being told something. Something is going wrong that we do not know.
But you see, what is instructive is that the Trade Union Congress is just not an ordinary body.
I mean, they are everywhere.
For them to make this instructive statement that
it's already
the money has already been paid. It's very serious.
So this is where we need that independent agency to investigate whether an illegality has been perpetrated. Because here we live in a country where we are even discussing whether they should be paid or not. And if another strong agency in this country could even come out to say that the amounts have been paid already, then we need that evidence to inform our submissions and our subsequent actions. Because, you see, we all admit that, yes, indeed, they play major roles. People, and if you are to listen to, I mean, submissions, people are not against their remuneration. They work as first ladies and second ladies. They work. We see them every now and then, I mean, appealing to people, public, private agencies to help in the socioeconomic, development of Ghanaians. They play major roles. I don't think people may even have issues when they are paid amount. But the argument here is that adding them to the Article 71 office holders is flawed. So let's not do it. So initiating it from the committee level is even wrong.
Okay, now let me take you.
So here, my recommendation, you see, in view, the president and then the government has come out to clear their name, that let an independent agency go through this to tell Ghanaians that, yes, indeed, probably this is what started, and I'm very much particular with a response to the TUC allegation that amounts have been paid already.
All right, so
we need to know as Ghanaians.
Alexander Chumberma, last week, the information minister said, yes, it is true. The information minister said, blame Parliament. TUC says, blame Parliament, NDC, MPP members. But the additional information that perhaps will annoy Ghanaians more today is the statement issued by the TUC yesterday that their checks indicate that the backdated salaries from 2017 till date has already been paid.
I always get disappointed in lawyers who should know the law, but rather we speak to issues in a way that when a layman is watching or listening to them from their angles, they try to question whether indeed these guys are lawyers. I was very sad when I heard that the information minister, who is a lawyer, has stated that, yes, it is true that the committee made such a recommendation for these two persons to be paid. He knows the Constitution very well. I don't know if you have read Article 71.
I have.
And Article 71 is for elected and appointed officials. Take it. Elected and appointed. So the CJ, for instance, is in Article 71. He's appointed. He's not elected. Auditor General is appointed. He's not elected. EC chair and deputies, they are appointed, not elected. But Speaker of Parliament is elected. Members of parliament are elected. Ministers are elected, technically. All right? These are persons who are captured under Article 71 and then the NCCE, media, and others. So you are either elected or appointed. Which of these two sections does the First Lady fall in? Is she elected? Is she appointed? No law even bars a president to have a wife if you want to be a president. There's no law. Go to UK. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom doesn't have a wife.
He just married.
Oh,
some young girl.
Initially, it was a girlfriend. They just gave birth.
About a month ago.
Thank you very much. Okay, so there is no law that indicates that if you want to be president, you must even be married before you become president. And then here we are discussing somebody who is not, who doesn't have a job to do. What's the job of the First Lady? What does she do? And you are paying salaries. You must pay salary to somebody who is working, an employee. Is she working for us? If yes, what is the job? The job description is what? What does she do? Already, there are certain things that is going with that office already. I mean, we are already spending on the office. She has not less than 3-car convoy, a police bike or riders, security, personal security office, and all and the country is paying for all this things, and you're adding salary on top. Telling us that, I've had some arguments that, they have been doing NGOs and so on and so forth to help us. Do you know how many NGOs are in this country? Are we paying every single NGO holder? Let's be serious for once. In any case, why did you not add the names of the wives of the CJ and the wives of the Speaker of Parliament? Because they are all in Article 71. So if you are talking about Article 71 office holders and their wives, now that's what we are made to understand. MPs' wives too. The husbands and wives of, so it means the men's husband must be paid.
Is it? No, wait. Let me put it this way: do you see it as a deliberate discrimination or ways and means to milk the state? I think, especially when the TUC says that their checks indicate that the backdated monies have been paid. When, as we speak, we know that lecturers have been on strike severally at the universities, at the technical universities, all talking about back pay, which has been negotiated to be paid in due course. But in this one, what is illegal has been paid according to the TUC.
Let me this time associate myself with you by borrowing your word. It is a form of...
I can tell, I'm a chameleon.
A ways and means.
Okay.
Okay. This time I'll borrow your word and say it's a ways and means. Go looking at the tangent that you are using that ways and means for. I can throw the same line with you and say that it's a ways and means to mock us. Why am I saying this? Yesterday night I was speaking to an immigration officer, a senior officer in immigration. Do you know how much they are giving to them as increment? 4%. 4%. For the whole year. Salary increment, 4%. Calculate 4% on every 100 citizens. See how much you are talking about. Just a chicken change.
That's 4 cedis.
Thank you. Okay? And you come and tell us that you are backdating your wife to 2017, which means that your plan was to pay her from the very onset you became president.
But it's paid, according to
and it has been paid. Can you imagine?
That's over 5 million.
I mean, for what reason?
That's why I said according
to see
it has been paid according to TUC.
TUC
I won't add alleged. All I'm saying is it has been paid according to the TUC.
Why would it even be paid in the first instance? They are not workers of the state. They don't work for us. They don't do anything for us. In fact, 99% of Ghanaians benefit nothing from them.
So the money should be coughed back.
They must pay the money back. They don't deserve any salary.
How do we ensure that the money has actually been paid back?
Well, they must come and prove it to us. The information minister who told us that it is true must come back and tell us that now they have paid the money back.
No, did he confirm that it is true that it's been paid?
He confirmed that it's true that they have been.
Parliament has passed.
Yeah. And in any case, even before you charge any money,
you see, the reason why I am tempted to believe the trade. Hold on.
I'm just making a key point. Right. Just hold on for me. Before you can even charge money on the consolidated fund, of which all these persons that you have mentioned, their monies come from, it must either be by the Constitution or by an act of Parliament. Which one did this fall under? Not by a committee report.
Yes. So they are saying that the committee report.
How can you even do this?
Hold it. They are saying that the committee report was approved by Parliament, i.e. the recommendation from the executive to Parliament to be... It doesn't make it a law. But you see, the reason why I am tended to believe the TUC is that, you know, the TUC is made up of various groupings. and it is easy for TUC to check from the Controller and Accountant General's Department, because all such payments are from the statutory funds.
Yeah.
And once it is from the statutory funds identified as people categorized as part of Article 71 holders, it is easy to check whether the system has made or lodged some monies from one end to the other. That's why I
strongly agree with you.
And TUC strongly believes that the wording of a statement where a categorical statement is made, i.e. paid, with reference to the executive, in this case, the president and the vice, is not a mere allegation, and therefore the Secretary General of the TUC would have weighed the consequences of this statement, i.e. there are checks indicating that the backdated payment has been paid. That is why I strongly subscribe with the TUC.
In the same way, I subscribe to it. All right? But now my point here is that why should we even get to this point? The very committee that you mentioned is allowed per the constitution of that same Article 71. If you read further, it says that that committee can be formed or should be formed for them to review their emolument. So it's there. But it never said First Lady and Second Lady. They are not part of Article 7. Their office is just by convention.
So let me do a few text messages so that you can wrap up.
Hold on. Just be serious for once as a country.
Hold it. Hold your fire. Today I'm not on fire, so you must also calm down. Oh, now
you were on fire some few minutes ago.
I was on fire some few minutes ago. Now, good morning, Eric. I don't know the reason why you guys always spend time talking about solution of this country, because the Akufo-Addo himself don't understand the word suggestion and advice. I wish what happened in Nigeria should have happened here at Manso Enka. Okay, he talks about dealing with the soldiers. I won't mention the word he used. This one from Stephen in Kwabenya says, Eric, Pablo is on TV3 saying that the wives of the first and second ladies have been paid already. Now, this has been confirmed by the TUC, but still alleged because we don't have all the facts. Now, I'm down below from Bremso. He says the president won the election, thereafter allocate fast salaries to his wife and that of the vice. If that wasn't enough, the salary would have been backdated, and it goes on and on. So you disagree with the payment virtually. This one says Bosheba is sending this from Gosu Zongo. He says Ghanaians should have faith and support the president because he's in the process of transforming this country. Danny sent this, and he says, I believe in God to restore the five-fold ministry with church. Okay, this different text message not associated with this program. Now, good morning, Eric. The issue was not on air but petition. They should set up a committee, not illegal, a serious damning. Prima Issa from Boku sent this. He's asking for a presidential commission, not the General Legal Council, because the allegation is serious. Now, our teachers should not allow themselves to be used by the lazy party, NDC. Teachers should remember they sat home for a good 8 months without pay. This one came from Inshraba from Ashaiman constituency sent this text message. Mustafa from Lower Manya Krobo says, everything is certainly not working under Akufo-Addo, but the culture of silence has been institutionalized, and it goes on and on. I'll paraphrase your text message so that I can read as many as possible. This one from Same Boache in Asamanka says, indeed, President Akufo-Addo has shown commitment to protect the public purse. His 3 interchanges has been commissioned under his administration, cost 289 compared to 260 from the Dubai Circle, and it goes on and on. Now, this one is not associated with this. It's just a. This one says from Mystic Wonder says the inept, corrupt, and insensitive Nana Akufo-Addo has failed Ghanaians woefully in this ungodly period, COVID-19 and unbelievable hardship, and goes on and on. Why would he pay his spouses a monthly salary? Comes with a question mark. Now, please, good morning. My name is Bride from Echuma Ekropong Dako Farmers. I have a new news for you. Youth in Afforestation Program have not been paid for the past 4 months. You've been sending and repeating your text message. I hope they are listening. President Akufo-Addo is a selfless and visionary leader who serves all passionately. JC Behene from Abeka sent this text message. I'll read 3 more and then I'll come for your concluding remarks. This one says, good evening, good morning, TV XYZ, no name. Sorry, I didn't see it earlier. I would have skipped it. This one says, Correct Score Zakaria says, I remember Nam1 gave Rebecca Foundation $1 million. Nana Akufo-Addo have been paid for 5 years. What have you done with your salary that Rebecca cannot siphon? Come on, stop embezzling state funds. And it goes on and on. The last one from Kwabenya, Eben says, Ghana Judiciary under Judiciary under CJ Yeboah is putting the institution into shame. We cannot verify the allegations, so I'll stop reading your text message from here. The last one says from Abedi Kwadaso Aka Police ni Nedrono. Thank God the Ghana Statistical Service has scheduled an initial mop-up exercise from July 12 to July 18. Kudos to former President John Mahama for kicking against the First Lady's salaries. Time is up. Concluding remarks. Let me give you 1 minute each. Let me start with you, Alex. Of all what we have discussed, what can you share with Ghanaians?
What I'm saying is that, you see, let's stop this habit of fighting for our interest only, especially when we are in leadership positions. Because from all indications, it's very clear that this government sometimes doesn't think about the ordinary Ghanaian. Because I can't imagine that you, the same person, come to tell us that you don't, because of COVID, you are always heaping your incompetence on COVID and saying that because of COVID, you cannot even increase salaries of workers to the level that they are even expecting. So they should bear with you. And then the same person will come and tell us that for his wife, she deserves to be backdated from 2017 to today.
Okay, so stop there. Doc, your concluding remark, 1 minute.
All right, I think to some extent I resonate with what my colleague just mentioned. If all this are to go by, in fact, currently where I sit, I've still not gotten grounded with most of the issues in terms of evidence. We always hear things, but I want confirmation, especially the amount being paid. If yes, this amount has been paid, then it's unfortunate that at this crucial moment when Ghanaians are talking about the fact that we need to sacrifice in the midst of COVID and all that, and then an alleged illegality in the form of paying first ladies. I don't have any problem with, they being remunerated because they are playing great role. That's why I disagree with him. They play very serious roles to develop, to help their spouses to also develop the country. So some allowance, I don't have any problem. But the issue
example of their role.
Oh, what have they done?
Okay, so maybe unless you want us to go,
we don't have much time. But the fact is that
just give one example.
I don't have any issue.
The fact is that
just one example.
They are only exploiting the positions they have. They are not doing anything to help the Ghanaians.
So you see, maybe unless you want us to go in there, but allow me to conclude, Eric.
Conclude.
All right. So
30 seconds.
I'm not in favor of violating the provisions of the Constitution to probably pay these people, and the fact that
what time are some?
Thank you.
There's nothing you can say. Full stop.
The fact that
it's Dean of Students, University of Professors. The rest, send me text message. I will read it. So we know him very well. I don't need to introduce him. We know Alex very well. They are with us every Monday. Next Monday, they will be with us again. Thank you on behalf of Abena, every production team, every platform. Don't forget, #Morning Update TV XYZ. I'm Eric here, and you'll see you again.